All right, so first ever camera test that I'm doing like this, I am going to actually shoot everything on the phone, um, just normal out of the box, no pro modes, no fancy gimbals, nothing like that. Everything's handheld. So this is the Galaxy Z Flip 4, and I will be shooting on a weekend in the city of Natchez. Natchez is a very old city, lots of rumors about hauntings and things like that. So it's a little rainy out, but me and my mom and one of my best friends are going to go to Natchez, stay over for the weekend. I'll be shooting a lot of pictures and videos with the Z Flip 4. So let's go. Let's take a look, see how these cameras are, visit a really old historical city here in Mississippi, and see what these cameras are all about. So we're at Mount Locust. Mount Locust was built in the late 1700s, and it was what they considered a stand along the Natchez Trace. What a stand was basically spots where people who came down the Mississippi River were able to then stay throughout their trip back to wherever they were from, whether they were from Kentucky or from parts of Pittsburgh, places like that. Usually it would take them a very long time. So these stands were about every 10 miles and people could stop. This was a very prominent one that had what we all know as Sleepy Hollow, a place where people could come and actually stay and sleep. There was also a small little town here, and this was actually in the family of a recently passed individual. They called him Ranger Rick, and he is buried here along with the rest of his family at Mount Locust. Take a look at all this. So we are at the Natchez Cemetery. The cemetery was built in 1822, and there are thousands of graves here. lots of kind of ghost activity, kind of show you some of the highlights of some of the haunted places here, and take some photos of this really cool ancient cemetery that is one of the oldest cemeteries and one of the largest cemeteries in the country. So let's take a look at it. Front-facing camera, pretty good, guys. I've been pretty impressed with the camera so far. About to get finished up here at the Natchez cemetery, and then we're going to go to a Confederate soldier cemetery where soldiers actually moved from their original burial ground near an old church in Natchez to this other burial ground. So I am at the Natchez National Cemetery. This is dedicated just for soldiers who have served in wars past, and a little bit different cemetery than the regular one that we just went to. Very kind of humbling and somber place, but this is actually where several of the Civil War soldiers that were originally buried downtown were moved and transported here. There's a lot of unknown graves and things like that, so I'm going to take a look around and kind of pay our respects. So we are at the Rosalie Gardens. This is a very famous place in Natchez. That's a huge, beautiful old house. Been here for centuries, and we're going to take a little tour of it. Morning. So last night we kind of did a bunch of stuff. We went to Under the Hill in Natchez here. It's one of the most historic places in Natchez, known for their ports. There's an old saloon there. There's even a place where Mark Twain used to stay, drink, that sort of thing. We ate some dinner there, and today we're going to take a little bus tour around Natchez and visit the Natchez Visitor Center here today. So final day in Natchez, gonna finish up the camera review, see what you guys think.
Start it up.
Who at first were allies with the French. The Indians were ultimately dispersed by the French by
Lit.
All right, so let's talk about this camera day in the life vlog, whatever we want to call it. So yeah, I'm kind of recording this after the fact because I recorded what I thought of it, and yeah, you couldn't really hear or see me because it was really dark at night. I couldn't find a really good place to film kind of this outro, so I'm filming it now. So here's kind of my thoughts on that, and it is pretty amazing. It's pretty outstanding how Samsung has really done something I had wanted for a long time, which was break down their camera software and just make it better. And they're actually like pushing the envelope to get better video and better photo processing out of kind of inferior hardware. Even though the Flip 4 doesn't have the most powerful, I'd say they have the least powerful set of lenses in the entire Samsung lineup of 2022. It actually produced some really good photos. I was really pleased and really surprised at how well stabilization was, how well low light video and photography was, how well it managed highlights and bright skies and sun and just a whole gamut of things. I would say, you know, the selfie camera, front-facing cameras, it's kind of rough. But even like one of the two pictures I took in some lower light situations where I'm just taking a selfie of me and my friends and my family, it did really well, and I was really surprised and really pleased. And I think that anyone who picks up this device, unless you're someone that's really dependent on having the best pictures and best video, for everyday average use, these are really better than you need. To me, these are shooting as good as an older iPhone, like an 11, 12, 13, just the regular lineup, and maybe even as good as some older like 11 and 12 Pros. And I know that there's not a big difference between the 13 and now the 14 Pros are out, and I get it, lenses, this, that, and the other, but just the fact that Samsung processing has pushed their hardware to be better than some of that older hardware from Apple is really impressive. And I think I could say that with confidence since I am using a 13 Pro. I would say that the video stabilization is not quite what Apple's is, but it's very close. And if you look at some of the video where I'm walking and I'm filming and I'm shooting, even in some of those nighttime situations, there's a few instances where you can see, you know, it's struggling with that low light. But for overall usage, I was very impressed, to the point that I actually think that if Samsung can put a little bit bigger sensor in that Flip design and continue to get better and better with its processing, I think that phone is probably going to be one of their hottest phones that they can buy, and one of the hottest phones you can buy. So that's my quick take on it. I was extremely impressed. In fact, I was kind of got more than I expected. I wasn't expecting really good results. I was expecting results as good as my Fold 3 was, and I would say it's better than that. So if you've got a Fold 3 and it's a little too big or too clunky for you, or you've got a regular S22 or S22 Plus and you've been thinking about going over to a folding design, I think the Flip would be a great upgrade for you, and you'll never miss out on the cameras that you have. If you're someone, I've seen a lot of this going around, so I'm going to throw this out there. If you're someone with an iPhone and you've been thinking about trying a folding device, I definitely think the Flip is a cheaper option that you won't be stuck with due to the price if you're upgrading, getting on a carrier plan, or even having to shell out of your pocket. It's just going to kind of be a lot easier to swallow that price tag on the Flip 4 versus a Fold. So I highly recommend this phone. It's definitely been one of my favorite phones to use this year, and I think that if Samsung can give us just a little bit better quality, if we can get what we're getting out of a Fold 4 or the S22 or the S22 Plus, I think if they can step up their game to that point where we can get a 50 megapixel sensor in there somehow, I think that would probably be the device that I would carry around. So great cameras. I don't think you'll be disappointed. They handled everything I threw at them and then some, and I was very pleased. I feel like documenting a day in the life, spending with my family and my friends, something that I want to cherish those memories, was well done with this device. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next time.